Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Vought Cast. This is episode 6. I am Vought Productions, and today I am actually not joined by Homelander memes. So, kind of decided to try to do something a little bit different, something a little bit fun, and something that works for both of our schedules. So this week it's just me. Well, not just me. I have a guest, but he will be doing his own episode next week with his guest. So make sure you tune in for that. But my guest for this week is Vought HQ. So, want to say hi?
Hey everyone, Vought HQ here.
So, a lot of things have happened since the last time I had you on.
A lot.
A lot. Main thing being your account had a little bit of trouble with that.
Yeah, it got taken down. No warning. Yeah. I was totally fine about it, as you know. I was not. I was really annoyed.
No, it's like the dog meme where the dog just sitting there like drinking. There's like there's fire all around him. It's like, this is fine.
Totally fine. It's totally fine. Not lying to myself at all.
I remember the day that happened too, and I was so confused because you said for the most part, like everything that you post is approved by Amazon, right?
Yeah, normally stuff. Normally I have to like email about like, I'm not even lying, about like 6 to 8 people from like different departments. And be like, hey, can I post this? Normally it's a no. Or sometimes if I don't email, that is, they'll normally just message me like, go, hey, take it down. And I'll be like, yeah, that's fine. I'll take it down. So I think, because it happened like a day or two after the season 3 teaser trailer was released. So I think they just literally got what they wanted out of me and then was like, yep, bye.
Yeah, and it's weird too, because it's like you didn't even really post anything when the trailer came out. Like you did your trailer breakdown, but even that, like I watched it. I mean, it's not like it doesn't have, and you didn't like put any like spoilers in there. It's not like you put like, oh, this is the scene where like this character dies, right?
Exactly.
So I don't know. It's kind of weird to me, but it's weird that they like took down your main account, but then let you set up another one and then have just left that one be. Like that logic to me doesn't really make much sense, unless they don't feel like playing whack-a-mole with accounts. But
yeah, I think especially because, as you know, on this account I've been a bit more chaotic, we'll say, and I've just been like, F it, I'll post whatever I want. Who wants casting updates? Who wants scene counts? Who wants a song list? But I know they've seen it because it comes up on the stories that they've watched it. So, you know, that's interesting. And someone from Amazon did actually say, oh, you know, we have seen you've created a new account. I hope that all goes well. And I was like, sure you do. Sure you do.
Hope it goes well. Yeah.
That wasn't the exact wording, but, you know, near enough. And I was just like, sure you do. Okay. Don't believe that for a second. So I was just like, do you know what? I'm sick of playing ball. I'll vague post some stuff, and some stuff I'll just outright post.
Yeah, I have seen. Yeah, because you did post the scene count for Soldier Boy, and then you posted the songs and stuff like that. And I personally haven't looked at those. Well, I did look at the Soldier Boy one, but not the songs one. I'll save that for in case there's something I don't want to miss in season 3 that I'd rather see for the first time. But you know.
Definitely. I think people got confused with that one as well because they were like, oh, there's like, this song should be on there. And I was like, it's songs sung by the characters. It's not like the actual soundtrack list. And I have no idea what that is. So I think that was just me being a bit unclear.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Because like I never looked at it, but I obviously saw the title of the post and I just thought that meant like the soundtrack too, like whatever songs we're going to play, and then like if somebody did sing them, then that would be like in parentheses like this person singing kind of thing. Interesting. Okay, so as far as season 3, it's kind of hard to talk about that too much without getting into like spoiler or leak stuff, but I guess we can talk about trailer in a loose sense. What did you think of the actual trailer itself, just from like a presentation standpoint?
I thought for a teaser trailer, it was really good. I had to really emphasize the teaser.
You're very caught up on the teaser. Yes.
On the teaser trailer. Yeah, no, I thought it was really good. I thought really action-packed. I thought it was really different from like the previous 2 seasons teaser trailers. Like in a good way, definitely in a good way. I was surprised at some stuff they showed, but they didn't really show as much as what I thought. But then again, it is only a teaser.
Right.
So, but no, I thought it was really good. I loved the way the song matched up with everything. It was really, really cool. Really kind of brought you into it.
Yeah, I really did like the song choice as well, and I actually haven't heard that. I hadn't heard that song before listening to it in the trailer,
Same.
but it's pretty good. And like the little things they do with editing with it, I think are always cool. Like there were like sometimes where like a beat would come in for the song, but they would cut out. Like there's like this one part where um, they cut it up to like the tune of the beat of like Mother's Milk loading his gun and then like the boys like opening up the trailer and they like cut the beat like off of the song, if that makes sense. So
No,
it's
it
like it's
does.
magic in my and then like 3 clicks, but instead of it coming from the instrumental in the song, it's like Mother's Milk, like with his gun doing it. And I thought that was cool the way it was kind of cut together. I thought it was a little bit chaotic and weird, but I think that's kind of what it was supposed to be because it's just
Not
like
just the boys, chaotic and weird.
that's true. That's true. But it was just kind of like a random like mashup. Like there was no like character dialogue. You really get no, at least to me, there was really no sense of like story that I could point at and be like, okay, I have an
Yeah.
idea for what's happening this season. I mean, obviously, I mean, you see Billy Butcher with Compound V, and you're like, okay, this is happening. Which I guess for the purposes of what they were trying to do, makes sense why they would show that in the
Yeah.
teaser trailer. I don't know. I was kind of 50-50 on it when I first saw it because I feel like that's kind of a big thing to just kind of casually slide in the teaser trailer, you know. But
Yeah, I think they'd have to put that in. I think it's a great way to generate interest from people who have and have not read the comics on either side of the coin.
Hmm.
I think as well, obviously based on what I've read, it makes sense for them to put it in.
Right.
I'll say that quite vaguely.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you are right that it definitely got attention. I mean, that's what they use for their profile picture now is, you know, Butcher with Compound V, laser eyes. And, you know, there were a couple edits that I posted of Butcher, like, with those scenes. And, you know, I'd get a few comments about, like, oh, like, he's going to, like, tear people up this season. Like, I can't wait. So I think it definitely generated a little bit of interest. Now let me ask you this, because Homelander and I talked about this the last time, but how do you feel about Butcher on Compound V? Do you like that, or do you like the idea of it? Do you think it's too early, or do you think it's timed right?
Oh,
I have a dicey
okay. So
question for you to answer, I guess, because
yeah, I'm trying to think how to do it without spoilers. So I found out about him taking V before I read the script, like that it was happening in the show. I won't say how I found out because
pigeon
I
came
won't
to your
say.
window while you were drinking tea and dropped it off.
Exactly that. Exactly that. That's spot on.
Okay.
How did you know? um,
I might have, I might know a guy that does pigeons.
imagine. So I knew it was coming. But I didn't really know what was happening. I kind of knew some of the side effects from like a VFX point of view. So then when I obviously read the script because that's no secret now. I love it. I kind of love what they've done. So I think it's going to be really, really good, and I think people will be really interested to see it, and I think they'll like the consequences and the gains that come with Butcher taking V.
Right. Yeah, because it's definitely going to cause, in my opinion at least, it's definitely going to cause some kind of. It's definitely going to shake things up for sure. I think it's going to be weird to see like if they give a rationale for why he's done it because the whole time his whole thing has been like soups are evil, hate soups. He has that line to Annie in season 2 where he says, a good soup is a dead, or Annie says, a good soup is a dead soup, right? And he says like your words, not mine. So it'll be interesting to see. But like Homelander did point out, though, it's kind of like at the same time he has nothing else really to lose at this point, because he lost Becca.
Everything.
Everything. Yeah, he's got nothing else to, So I suppose the morals might go with it. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I did like the season 3 trailer. I thought it was really good. A lot of the shots, like just like the visuals of it, I think look really nice. It kind of looks like to me that they've upgraded the visuals for this season, but maybe I'm just thinking things, but like
No,
the
you're
coloring
right.
seems better.
Yeah, so they've actually, I think they outsource every year, but I think they've outsourced more for like VFX and things. I know we've spoke about that, about that's why they were so behind and why they are
Right.
so
Yeah.
behind. So we spoke about that anyway. But yeah, so I think they've hired people who like are just a lot better at it
Hmm.
and can do a lot more. So I think it's definitely going to look amazing.
Perhaps with a larger budget too, because now they kind of have more funds to work with. I assume for the third
No,
season. Really? They,
less.
they got a wait. They got a smaller budget for season 3 than they had for season 2.
Yeah, so for certain departments, they've got like less budget. For some, they've got more. Like, there was someone who we spoke to, and they were telling me like how much the stunts got, for instance, and they were saying, oh, they've actually got an increased budget for the stunts, but someone else got a budget cut, and they had to let go of quite a few staff because of budget cuts. Which I was like, no way. I was like, this show's Emmy nominated. Why are they cutting the budget?
Yeah. Well, it's probably because they used up all the funds for the whale. The funds are gone with the whale. It's a one-time
Yeah,
thing.
definitely.
But that is interesting though that you say that, because I never really thought like that much into shows in terms of, budgeting and stuff, but I guess I never like, when you hear about a show, getting funding or whatever, I
Yeah.
mean, obviously they have to split it across different departments, and I never really thought. So who is it, I guess, do you know, like not the actual person, but I'm just mean like department wise, like who typically decides like what departments get budget, and what is that, like from Amazon, or is that from like whoever, like the showrunner? Like, is that
I think it's probably a mix of both Amazon and Sony, to be honest. I'm not really too sure on the logistics on side of that one because finance isn't my thing, but it'd be like basically someone on a finance, and from what I gather, it's all done just on like an Excel spreadsheet. So it's just
yeah.
whoever's in the finance officer there.
Okay. It is interesting though that they did get a lesser budget, because I would imagine they would have had a larger budget, but that is
Yeah, like I said, some departments did get an influx, some departments got a cut. It's crazy how it works.
did the marketing department get like a cut, and then Diabolical came out, and then they got like like all the money came in the marketing?
You, you love Diabolical.
Diabolical is the greatest thing I think they've ever done, and it's probably the greatest piece of cinema I think I've ever watched. I've never been so humored. I've never had so much fun. I think my personal favorite is, I wake up in the morning, I don't make tea because, I'm not across the pond, but I kind of just, get a cup of coffee going, and I just start looking through all the new tweets from the boys account about Diabolical. And if I had a little bit too much to drink the night before, I kind of just think that the boys is just an animated show.
I mean, I don't think they tweet enough about it. They should tweet more.
I think they should, because I think a lot of people aren't aware that Diabolical exists, and I think they could
No,
they could do a better job, because like I like see people like out and about, and I'll be like, hey, have you watched Diabolical? And they'll be like, what is that? And I'll be like, you haven't seen? So they could do a better job.
they could, and I feel like they need to do more with Vought as well. Just, do you know what? Fuck it, just release a whole restaurant train. Why not?
I love Vada. That's my favorite. Can we talk about how they've posted more about that stupid burger than they have about season 3? And it just
Yeah, of
blows my
course.
it blows my mind. Like there's actually no way. I want to actually go through and manually do a count of tweets, but like that would just take too much time. But they have actually posted like more, I think, about the burger than they have about season 3.
No, I think they have.
Yeah,
I just, for me, I'm like, I don't understand why they aren't even releasing stills because other shows were filmed like pretty much later than they have and have the same fresh on them for VFX and things like that. Because VFX is why they're behind. I know we spoke about that
yeah.
privately, but yeah, that's why they're behind. And so I don't understand why they can't even release a still, even one which doesn't have any VFX or anything. Just release a few. I don't understand it.
So
It's why I released the Soldier Boy one.
yeah, it's honestly, so I'm looking through their tweets, and the ones. So every single tweet that they ever do about Diabolical, like the most they've gotten as of like, I'm just briefly scrolling through. You maybe get like 200 retweets, 300 retweets, and then they posted a random photo of the cast, which are reposted cast pictures that we've all seen of like behind the scenes stuff, right? That like the celebs
Yeah.
have posted on their stories before and everything. And it was just captioned season 3, hitting your tubes in 2 months, and it's got over 1,000 retweets. Just a random
Wow.
thing of like the cast and just a mention of season 3. This just blows anything from Diabolical just out of the water.
I don't think the difference would be that much, to be honest. That's quite. You'd think they'd look at that and then go, "Hey, why don't we start doing a bit more on this one if we want to build up engagement?" But then again, they've got the genius that is Waterburger.
Yeah, that's really creative genius. It's a lot of creative work. And I don't know. It's so weird to me because it's like when Diabolical first came out, which, no one asked for it, but it's free content and it's, whatever, that's fine. And then they talked about it a lot for the first week, and I'm like, okay, like that, fine, it's a new thing, I get it. But like they've promoted Diabolical more than they have season 3 in terms of like they started talking about this in December of like 2021 when
Wow.
Carl Urban announced it. They did a teaser video with Carl Urban. They're like, "Oh, we got something special coming for you next year," and then they released like 2 or 3 teaser trailers for it, and then it came out, and now they've been posting like every day about it, like nonstop, and it's just like weird because it's like this is not your main show. Like this is not what you are. Like this is a random throwaway spinoff. So I don't know. I mean, like I know people personally who have just like are just getting tired of it, like just with everything because they just never talk about the 3rd season. And like you were saying, stills would be a great opportunity. They could literally do it once a week. Just post a random photo from like it's not gonna spoil anything.
Yeah.
No one knows what it means.
Exactly that. Like they could easily do that. Like there's stuff there that they could easily post, but they just for some reason really don't want to, and I don't understand it because I've said to you, I think season 3's way better than season 2, and I'm a very harsh critic.
Season 2, right?
Well, just in general, but yeah, of season 2 mostly. So they really should post something because it is I think it's a way better season than season 2, and I think people will be talking about it for quite a bit. I think, especially you.
Yeah. Now, do you think so? I feel like season 3 over season 2 for you is kind of a gimme because you definitely hated season 2. But how do you think it compares to season 1?
Definitely not as good.
Definitely not as okay.
But on the way, I could see season 3. It sounds really strange. I can see season 3 kind of making season 4 going as season 1 did, as in it was a lot more fluent. There was a lot more character development. It was a lot better writing as well. So I could see, depending on what they do with season 4, I haven't been sent anything for season 4. I really want to stress that. So I think it could be better than season 1, depending on the avenues they take.
Because I'm
being vague on purpose.
Yeah. Because I know they said the original plan was 5 seasons. So if you assume that they're going to stick to that, then season 3 is kind of like the halfway point. So you kind of imagine at this season that it's going to get definitely pretty crazy in terms of like major plot things. Just because you're over halfway through now.
I'm going to be very, very vague, but I think
stuff happens.
What happens in season 3, depending on what they do, really want to stress that, depending on what they do in season 4, but season 4 could be the last depending on how they write it, based on what I've read from season 3.
That's interesting.
And I mean that in a good way. I don't mean that like in a shade way. I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, just like the way it's like another 8 episodes would be a good way to wrap it up, kind of. Yeah, it depends on like when they get their narrative ending that they want, how long they kind of want to stretch it out for. I feel like 4 seasons would be kind of short in my opinion, but then again, I have not seen season 3 yet, obviously, and maybe my opinion would be different after seeing a 3rd season. Because as much as I'd like to see the show go 5 seasons, I wouldn't want it to see it go 5 seasons if season 4 is just going to be dragging out the plot and just like every episode's filler, just so you can say you hit 5 seasons. Like, we don't really want that either. I feel like that's kind of the drawback with entertainment nowadays. I feel like shows, it's so hard to get it right because shows either end and then people are like, oh, but we really want more, or it goes on for so long and then people just get genuinely like annoyed and just, it's like, oh, you watered this down. Like, it's not good anymore.
That's me with Killing Eve.
Like, I know
it's a shame when that happens.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know what's worse. Like, I think if the show. Okay, so let me ask you this: would you, if you had to take like any show, that is currently out there, would you rather it just run on for like a long time and then it just gets like watered down and not as good anymore? Or would you rather it get cut short, but you don't get like, but it doesn't come with like a narrative, like satisfied like ending? Like I know you're a big Bridgertown person. So like imagine just like, well,
I am.
Bridgertown might be a bad example because each season follows a
Okay,
different
yeah.
book, but
I've got
it,
two good examples actually, because this has happened to me quite a lot in both ways.
okay.
So you probably never watched it because no one did, but there's a show I loved on Netflix called Sense8. It was incredible, but it got cancelled as everything does on Netflix, and it was such a shame because they planned to do a lot more, and I was really upset that they cancelled it. It was quite sad. But then on the flip side, you have shows like Grey's Anatomy where they are going on for so long, where even I've stopped watching, and I will put up with a lot of crap. I used to watch Teen Wolf, for God's sake. I'll just throw that out there. So I'm used to crap shows and crap writing, but when something goes on for like, I don't know, Grey's is like 16 seasons now.
Oh my gosh. Well, Supernatural's 15, right?
I'm going to say yes. I never
That's
finished that.
run by
So
Kripke, so you never know.
yeah, he was only up till season 5, there wasn't he? And then he left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it depends on the show. Like again, Grey's Anatomy, if that's gone on for far too long. So I think I'd prefer it to just end quick, to be honest. Even if it ends on a cliffhanger, then at least that way you can live in the memory or the thoughts even that it could have been good. Like the ending could have been good.
Yeah. And in a way too, like in that sense, your brain can at least try to come up with conclusions. And like at the time,
Yeah.
like, it's going to be like very annoying, but at least like when you think back on that show, years down the line, you'll be like, oh yeah, that was good, but the cliffhanger was crazy. Whereas it's like, if you were to jump 8 years in the future and it'd be like, oh, The Boys season 12 is out, and you're just like, what's happening?
You're like, please stop.
There's no way that I could really see like for a show like this, and granted, like I'm not super familiar with all the comic material, but just given the way it's gone so far, I just don't see how you could push it past 5 seasons. I feel like 5 would be kind of
And the
like
same.
stretching it. I just don't think there's enough content there unless you just start making up your own stuff. But like at some point, you have to start killing off like major people, and I feel like the show is gonna like start deteriorating when that happens. And it's like I don't think you can just keep bringing in new heroes to like replace people.
Yeah, well, kind of similar to that. Obviously, The Boys is a very popular comic, a very popular TV show. Similar to that effect, The Walking Dead. They had like a no-kill list, and then fans kind of got bored and just stopped watching. I know it's ending now, but I just remember seeing everyone going, "Has this not ended yet?" I stopped watching years ago because people got bored of the same stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing, is it's like you would kind of hate to see your favorite die, obviously. Like I know, like I'd be crushed if Annie or Huey or even Butcher, because I love Butcher too. Like if any of those 3 died, or MM. So those 4,
Yeah.
protect those 4 at all costs. If they died, it would be like really hard to watch, but at the same time, it would also be really weird if it's like it just goes on forever and just nobody important ever dies, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, as well, what people don't realise is there's actor contracts as well. They'd obviously signed up for like a certain amount of seasons, but we've seen it now. A lot of the actors, especially Jack Quaid, he's getting a load of amazing projects where there might come a point where he might not have time for The Boys anymore because I don't want to say outgrown it, but he's had more opportunities and he might want to pursue them, which if his contract allows it, I would.
You mentioned that, and it is really interesting to watch the cast on social media and kind of see like what's happening with everybody.
Yeah.
You are right about Jack Quaid. He's been doing a lot of stuff because he's been doing voice acting. He does like the Star Trek's like Lower Deck stuff.
Yeah.
He's even hopped on a couple, like I think there was like a Dungeons and Dragons like role play like podcast he like got on. I was just like, okay. And so he does that, and then he was in Scream. So yeah, like he's doing a lot of stuff. And then I'm trying to think of the other cast. I don't know if Jesse's up to much.
Yeah, I think he just had something on Netflix. It was an animated movie.
Seal one. Right?
Yeah, and then I think he's just filmed something else. I don't know what it is though.
Okay. So he's doing stuff. Carl Urban, I have no idea because he's never on social media. But I haven't.
Carl keeps his cards close to his chest.
Right. Oh yeah. Anthony, kind of in another film, I think.
Probably best not to mention that.
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
No, we can't. I mean, I don't really give a crap, as you know.
We'll save that one because that
Okay.
was that was a little bit. Yeah, we'll let that go.
Erin's got a movie she's filming now.
Yeah, and you know what's
She's been
crazy is
filming that for a while, hasn't she? Like, so she's gonna have like quite a meaty role there. Where I know Anthony, he wasn't there for that long to film, so she's gonna have quite a big role.
she's gonna make me watch horror movies. I don't watch horror movies, and she's gonna be the reason I watch that one. So
Yeah, you're gonna be watching now.
yeah, I'll be watching that one. You know, I haven't watched the other stuff she's in yet, but I've heard some of it is good that she's in. I'm not. I heard Jessica Jones is supposed to be good, right? Or at least like the first couple seasons, or
The first season's good.
yeah.
Yeah. She's in the first season now, and you know when I first watched this is like when it very very first came out, I didn't really care for her, like for Erin in it. But then when I rewatched it recently, I was like, holy shit, she's really good in this.
Maybe that has an effect of you talking to me, and now it's just Aaron's just growing
It's definitely
on you.
you.
It's just
Definitely
it's
you.
like, oh, she's so amazing. My favorite.
No, do you know she plays quite like a range, and that is actually really good. It was really surprising because you can tell she's quite young in it. So I think it's like probably one of not a first project, but you know probably like a first majory one. And she was really good in it.
Yeah, it is interesting. Like as far as you know, the whole like cast for the boys goes, because they all seem like perfect for the roles. And I guess it's easy to say that like once you've like watched the show, and it's like obviously you know once you watch a show, like you can't picture somebody different playing the character. But like the boys, especially, like I know like originally like for Starlight, I forgot who it was, but they were originally gonna do like somebody else. And she looks like really young. Like she's like 21. I think she's like 21 or 22. Forgot who it was though, but I remember
You're gonna have to find out and tell me.
yeah, but I remember looking at her and I was like, she is like really like she looks really young. Like it would just be a lot weirder to run that plot with like she doesn't seem like I don't know how to word this. It would feel more like a it gave me more. Are you familiar with like Stargirl on DC?
Oh yeah, I've not seen it, but I've seen the posters and stuff.
It would kind of remind me of that, of like if this actress, like if she played Starlight, it would kind of feel more like that, like Stargirl kind of like vibes, where it's like a younger hero kind of thing, and feel more. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But...
No, I know what you mean. Like it would have been a bit creepy, especially with the scene with the deep.
Yeah, and
what I've just had a little look. It actually was the girl who played Stargirl. She actually did audition for Starlight.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah. So
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you know, Stargirl, Starlight. Why not? Right? But
why not exactly? God, yeah, that'd be. I'm glad they went with Erin. No shade on the other actress, just for like, age wise.
Yeah, I haven't seen like I personally haven't watched Stargirl, but just you know, as far as you know, like age goes, like I don't think she'd blend in with the other cast because I think everyone else in the cast is like 40s, right? Late 30s, 40s. Yeah. So it's just like, yeah, you definitely need someone older there to just kind of blend in better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's already been. I want to say, no, Erin's almost. I think is she the youngest one on the cast? I think she's almost 30. I think she's the youngest one, besides Ryan, obviously.
I was going to say
Ryan's literally supposed to play a kid, so there's a difference.
I think so. I think she is. Yeah, I think she is. I'm just having a quick Google now. So, thanks to Google's put it in age order. Yeah, she's the youngest.
Oh dang, yeah. Old's
yeah,
Jack.
She's 20.
Old's Jack Quaid.
Jack is 29. Oh my god, Jack's 30 this year.
He looks damn good for 30.
He looks.
Or 20.
Wait, he looks. Oh god, it's 24th of April, his birthday as well. So happy birthday, Jack.
Yeah.
He looks really good for. I thought he was like early 20s.
Yeah.
I see like the oldest is like, you know, from like the main cast.
Yeah, it's Anthony would be my guess.
Close. Goes Carl, Laz, then Anthony. They're all pretty similar.
Ooh. Wait, what about how old is Jensen?
44. He's 40. Oh my god, he looks amazing.
Yeah.
I have a huge crush on him. Just everyone in the world. Everyone does.
that's that's very true. Yeah. So speaking of the cast, I guess, I know that there's another spinoff that they're working on too. Not Diabolical. I really want season 2 of Diabolical though, so I wish they would do that. But besides that, The college one. What's up with that?
Oh my god, so much messiness with that one. I think it's been pushed back filming 3 times. Oh, it's so yeah. So pushed back, lots of recasts. From what I've been told by people on the show, the actors were really, really patient. Really, obviously it's a big gig for them. But they were just pretty much sick of being pushed around, and then just looked for other projects. Which fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, if I was on a show that was supposed to like film, and then I was on there for like 8 months and started film yet, I'd probably just want to leave too.
Yeah, you'd be like, especially if you're booking other projects or you're having to turn them down, you'd be like,
yeah,
oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, also, I don't think there's even any information. It's just, it's set in college. It's called Varsity. I mean, that's not officially been announced, but I did find that out. So it's called Varsity.
All right. Right now, until it changes with the script.
Until it changes, yeah.
So it's probably not even a spoiler. So
no, yeah, exactly that. So I don't know about you, but for me, it just doesn't feel like Amazon have any faith in it. Like that they kind of like, oh well, we've committed to this, we put the money in, but it seems like they don't really want it to happen. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's definitely weird because I remember like this thing got rumored. Like I think it was like right when season 2 dropped. Like it's been like rumored around for a while, and it's just nothing, absolutely nothing has come out of it. I mean, not even they can't even get the script right. So it's just like, yeah, I think you're definitely right. It feels weird, and to be honest, I wouldn't mind if it just got like cut because the whole like idea of it just seems like dumb to me. I think the boys has kind of ran into a problem where they've played all their cards too fast. And now they're trying to like reel some of it back because they only have 2 full seasons out now of the official show. Before the second season was even out, they started working on this Varsity spinoff. Then you got, the Diabolical spinoff. And then you got like all these different like parody things they do, and it feels weird. Like it feels like the show is turned into like 40 or 50% substance and then 40 to 50% parody stuff. And I get that like that's their brand, like that the whole thing is like they're trying to make fun of everybody else. In a weird way, they're like becoming what they're making fun of.
Yeah.
And then it's just this really weird, ironic situation. Like I know they put like in some of the stuff they post like doesn't even make any sense. Like there was one day that the official Vought like international account posted a video. It's supposed to be of a parody. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it because I doubt you get his ads overseas. But like the My Pillow guy in America who like does the pillows.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, they made a parody of that. And like the comment section, like people, like and a couple people that I knew that I talked to, they were just like, "What is this? Like, I'm so confused. Like, what is happening?"
Yeah, do you remember when I thought they were gonna. I think a lot of the time is they're not really timing stuff well either. Like I remember me and you speaking about when they did the VS5, as in a skit on PlayStation 5.
Oh yeah.
But it was just really like weirdly announced, and then like, did someone accidentally hit send instead of save?
Still, it's like if you had no idea that this show even existed, and you click on their social media page and just like look, you would think it's for an animated cartoon. Or then if you go on the Vought International account, which is supposed to be an account about the 7 and like the superheroes, it's just like parody like advertisements. I would be genuinely so lost. I'd be like, what is this? Is this whole show? Like, I would think the show is like that. I would be like, is this what the show is? Is it, the deep selling, liquid death? Is this what it is? Is it just like comedy skits just on repeat?
Yeah. So as well with the official account, like they said they were going to be doing like kind of what my page was essentially, the Vought version of the boys. So they were going to do like all the superhero stuff through that page. But then they kind of didn't. Like, they didn't do the Soldier Boy outfit reveal. They didn't really do anything with that. And I just like, surely, if you were going to do something like that, something as big as, the first look at Jensen Ackles in his Soldier Boy costume, you do that on the account you want to use to promote the superheroes.
Yeah, that's the
but they
thing.
didn't.
That was the thing that was so weird. Like when I realized they didn't post it on that. It's weird because they kind of run into an interesting issue trying to make a second account now because The Boys is the name of the show itself. It's also the name of, like, if you want to call it, like, the faction of people going against the
Yeah,
Seven. So it's kind of weird to have, like, an account and then that has basically been viewed as your main page for the show itself, like The Boys TV, and turn that account into one that's just like about the boys themselves and like not about the show. Like you wouldn't really be able to do that. And you could even tell because I'm on Twitter quite a bit. Like I think the social media person in general is like confused and doesn't know how to act because sometimes he talks like Billy Butcher and then sometimes he doesn't. And sometimes like for I think Starlight's the biggest example. Sometimes when they post about Starlight, they'll make a comment. They'll be like, "Oh, like she's just a soup, just like the rest of them, whatever." And then like 2 days later, they'll be like, "Here's our favorite, bubbly superhero, Starlight," and it's like, what? Pick a lane.
yeah. I don't think they have a plan. I don't think they have a plan. I think it's just literally throwing spaghetti and see what sticks.
Yeah.
I thought that for a while, especially when they made the Vought account. I was like, this seems a bit odd. I think as well with the boys, although it's popular and it's also niche, it's a weird mix. But I also think, and I'm just using like recent events for this, but it's not really globally popular, if that makes sense. Like it is to an extent, but not like a phenomenon. Like other things, like say, I know it's a different genre, but say Bridgerton or even the Umbrella Academy. I think a lot more people worldwide watch that than they did the boys.
Mhm.
Just because like I think it's very specific to an American audience, which is that's fine. But I feel like the marketing's way too specific to like a certain area of America, and I think it's mostly LA that mostly tried the market, and I think that's to do with nominations.
So,
So I think when it's award season, they don't care to nominate or to advertise it.
so I'll kind of disagree slightly there on terms of like the other countries thing because at least I mean, granted, my account is like a small one, but like analytics wise, like what I see, like whenever I look at it, think only like 30 or 40% of people that follow my account are based out of the United States. The rest
Oh
are
wow!
split like across the world. And like I have a couple people that'll like comment on my stuff like in French, like on my posts.
Yeah.
So or like in Spanish or something. So I would say there's definitely like a worldwide audience for it. I know a lot of
Oh
people on
yeah.
Twitter
Yeah.
I talk to that are from like I think there's a couple people from like India that I've talked to before. Just like all over the world. But I do agree though, in terms of like general like size, like the amount of people is not that much. But they are definitely spread out. But
Yeah.
it's just the sheer amount is not quite
Oh
there.
yeah. Yeah. That's what I mean. I think it's got. I think it is obviously spread out worldwide because obviously it's got fans everywhere. But I
Spain's a big
think
one
in
too,
terms of like
like Brazil and
yeah, oh yeah,
Spain.
Spain, yeah, places like that. I always notice from football. So especially oh, is it? I think it's like Brazil. I'm not sure if you get a lot of boys fans from Brazil. I've seen a few, but on every single player in the Premier League, it's always come to Brazil, come to Brazil. They're very loving, active fan base, but it's like they are for everyone. So I don't think the boys are special in that regard.
Hmm.
Um, but I think it is successful globally, but I think it's more specific to like America's success. Like you're going on about name recognition before. I remember when I was trying to get people to watch it in my office, like in my old job, and I was like, "Oh, it's got this really cool character, Homelander," and they were like, "Oh, Homeland, I've seen that," and I was like, "No, no, not the character Homelander from The Boys," and they were like, "Oh, is that not the one about the spy?" And I was like, "No, no, it's got confused with Homeland and Homelander."
Yeah,
I thought that was really funny.
yeah, that's great. I think it's kind of like it's one of those weird things where like you got the show. It really is like a lot of parody on like American stuff, like stuff that happens like
Yeah,
in. So like I feel like a lot of this stuff, if you were just like a casual viewer, like watching somewhere else, like you probably wouldn't get like some of the references and jokes and whatnot, if you want to call them jokes. Um, some of it you wouldn't get, some of it you would. But yeah, it's definitely not like. I mean, I think the biggest selling point would be, just Homelander, who's like anti-Superman, basically, like Superman but evil,
yeah,
and everyone knows Superman, so that's kind of like the main comparison draw there. I think it's like, oh, if Superman was bad, but outside of that, yeah, I don't think I like the characters have a lot of name recognition. We've talked about this before, but I think like
Yeah.
if you say Homelander, people might know. If you say like Butcher, people might know. I think if you start naming off some of the other characters, like people would be really like people wouldn't know who you're talking about. Like, just like casually on the
Yeah.
street. Like if you just brought up like Queen Maeve or like Starlight or like Kamiko, people would be like, "What? What are you talking about? Starlight?
Like, who you on about?
Yeah, who are you on about? Who is this?"
You'd be like, Starlight,
Annie.
Evan Moriarty.
Annie? Yeah, she works at the coffee shop 3 blocks down.
Yeah, we're close.
Yeah, we're close. Yeah, I don't know. It's I mean, hopefully season 3 changes things with that.
Yeah, I hope it does. For me, I just really think what's letting the side down is Amazon just ignoring the fans. Like, I know I got a lot of attention from them. Like, they sent me quite a lot of gifts and things like that. But you've seen from the screenshots I've sent you, I was begging them to send stuff out to other people. Like, even to like you, Homelander memes, just anyone. I was like, please just do something for the fans, and they just don't want to. And I think that's what's letting it down. Like, if they did care about the fans a bit more, it would really, really help the show.
Yeah, and it's not even like in the terms of like anything like physical. I think it's just in terms of like I mean, you look at the person. I mean, I know we've ripped a lot already on the social media this episode, but it's like if you look at like the person who like runs the boys like official account, they don't post fan stuff that much. They don't.
Yeah.
And they're not super interactive with the fan base, and you kind of almost get the vibe that the person doing it like hates it. Like, stop asking about stop asking about the trailer, mate.
Stop asking about Soldier Boy.
Yeah, stop asking about.
You see that one a lot.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like they're just not very. They're just not very interactive. I don't know. It's weird. Like the show definitely has potential. What I'm personally concerned about a little bit is, like a lot of like the active community is pretty much like fizzled out. Like it's very, very, very small now. I'm kind of concerned if that is like a short-term thing and then it just comes back. Like obviously when season 3 comes, you're going to get an influx of new people. But my thought is what is going to happen to all the people that have fizzled out and lost interest. And if they do care about the show again, do they still care about the account? Some people haven't, been on their, boys, fandom accounts, haven't posted for like 10, 12 months, like on the account at all.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, do these people even remember that they have these accounts? Like, do they even come back? So, obviously you're going to get a lot of like a huge flood. Like Twitter is pretty active because it's a lot of like Jensen Ackles kind of supernatural kind of, boys hype over there. But Instagram is, it's dead. I mean, I'd never see like boys post on my feed anymore. And I don't know.
It's a shame, isn't it? Because like I always think fans put so much hard work into things and they really do get a lot from it, like, just enjoyment from the show in general. So I hope people do come back. I really do, because it'd be a lot nicer. But like you, I can see both things happening. They could and they couldn't. I can see both.
I mean, because like I remember when when season 2 was out, like that was my favorite time to be here from. I think November, even into December, it was still like really buzzing, and like those 2 months were like really good. And I was warned by like a couple people, like Homelander memes being one of them, and a couple other accounts who were in the fandom since season 1. They're like, hey, it's kind of it's going to drop, like pretty soon it's going to drop off, and it kind of held for a tiny bit, and then it just, I think obviously, having to get filming pushed back, and now season 3, is almost 2 years apart from season 2. That hurts a lot.
Oh, that long. Jeez, I didn't even make that link.
Season 3 came out, season 2 came out in September of 2020, and season 3 is going to be June this year. So that's what, like a 3-4 month gap? 3-month gap.
Yeah, and they haven't even started filming season 4, have they? Like, that's crazy. So that season 4 is probably going to be just about the same amount of weight. I hope not.
Hopefully not, because filming for season 3 was like 4 or 5 months after season 2 finished. So, and given that there's hopefully not any more pandemic shenanigans going on, they should be able to film and get that rolling.
Yeah, because
Soon.
wasn't season 3 almost finished at this point? Because remember, I think it started in like January, February, didn't it?
Yeah, so filming for season 3 started in February, and then it went till August.
Yeah.
That's another thing that
Crazy.
hurt too, is it's not just the length of the show, just the length of anything of substance boys content, because you got to think we went all the way from October 2020 to March of 2022 before there was anything official for season 3 besides just like a picture, like an announcement. Like there was nothing for probably 16, 18 months.
That's a long time. Jeez.
So wait, no, I take
No
that
wonder the
back.
fans dropped off.
They posted that like 15-second clip of like Homelander and Starlight side by side, but I think that was in like February.
Yeah.
Even then, that's still over a full year. And yeah, I don't know. Definitely,
That's
you know, and I remember like, you know, arguing with people on Twitter about this, and they're like, well, you know, obviously it's a pandemic. They can't do anything about, you know, a trailer or editing or anything. And it's like, yeah, that's fair. But, you know, like you were saying, like they can still do stills. Like they got the stills. There's other stuff you can do to keep the community active besides just a trailer. Like there's plenty of things you can do.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, like they were editing season 2 at home. Like because obviously that was like the height of the pandemic when everyone had to work from home. So it's not like they aren't used to it, and it's not like they don't have the facilities even in a pandemic. If anything, it's probably more refined. It's just, well, I won't say publicly, but I've told you why it's delayed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I hate to see it, but hopefully, you know, hopefully season 3 will come out, and then we'll just kind of forget this happened. We can, you know, laugh about it and be like, remember when they spammed about Diabolical, and it'll be a great time, and they can spam about season 3 instead. If they're as half as interested in season 3 as they are about Diabolical, I think we'll be in good shape.
I hope they are. I just, my worry is that they kind of were burned by the Emmys, you know, not getting any wins or barely any nominations, and kind of going, oh, well, there's no point in doing it anymore because I'm not going to get anything back from it. So I hope that's not the case. I hope they do still try.
I will say,
if that makes sense.
I will say, yeah. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Because I know, like, you know, after they lost the Emmys, like, it did seem a little bit weirder with, like, you know, all the accounts and everything, like the, you know, celebs on the show and, like, the official pages and stuff. Yeah. Like, it definitely did seem, like, kind of bothered by it. I will say it is kind of weird. Like, I never watched The Crown, but it is kind of weird to me that they got a clean sweep at the Emmys on that kind of stuff that they were up against the boys for. Because I remember looking up, and on every website, like every metric, like the boys had like more viewers, more total reviews, more like higher average review score also. So it's like, it's kind of weird. And I think mainly just because The Crown's on Netflix and it's like a drama, so it's like kind of just gets that nod, like just.
Saying that though, Apple TV, they like swept in their categories, didn't they? So, and they're a fairly newer one, and a lot more niche than Amazon, I think, because not many people I know have Apple Plus.
Yeah, that's true. I keep forgetting Apple TV even exists. So
honestly, I do, and I've got a subscription.
Yeah,
pay fucking £20 a month for the pleasure. It's fun, but like, to be honest, when I saw what the boys was nominated for, and more importantly what they weren't, I was like, there's no way they're going to win, because I think they were nominated for 2 things. I think
it was not best drama VFX. And then best.
It's not a drama. It's not a drama show.
What was it nominated? It was nominated for like 7 things.
Yeah, I want to get it up. And it was nominated for VFX as well, which it didn't get. Which I was like, I think, did Mandalorian win?
I think so for that. Yeah.
I think so. I've never watched The Mandalorian, so I can't comment on that one.
Yeah, me neither. They had the whale. You know, you gotta.
That bloody whale. The amount they talk about that bloody whale. Oh, it got. Okay. It received.
Didn't they put a whale in Diabolical?
Oh, did they?
They should have. I don't know if
that would have got him it. That would have gotten the nomination. It got Outstanding Drama Series, Writing, Sound Mixing, Visual Effects, Original Music, and Sound Editing. But I feel like I've already said that. Yeah. So when I saw it wasn't nominated on like I don't want to say main categories, but you know, the main categories, for me, I was like, yeah, I don't think they'll I don't think they'll win.
Yeah. It's kind of a bummer they didn't win anything, but
I was shocked they didn't get one for production design. I thought for production design they should have won. They should have been nominated for that one at least.
yeah, because their design, like a lot of their stuff looks really good.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. I think it's cool too. Like one thing I've always enjoyed looking at is like the concept art for stuff, like before they film
Me
it.
too.
It looks so cool. Then
I'll have to send you some because I've got some that's not released. I'll have to send you some.
ooh, okay, yeah.
Not season 3. I want to make that clear. Not
Yeah,
season
not season 3.
ones.
I don't want to wake up to just Amazon kicking down my door.
No, don't worry. They'll just kick mine down, not yours.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool. Obviously you've seen them, like the ones from like season 1 for like Vought Tower, like what it was kind of supposed to be, and then how they kind of changed it. And I do like the change because the comic book Vought Tower looks really weird. How it's just like a floating like.
Yeah, it looks crap. I'll say it looks crap.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. So, speaking of that, I guess, because obviously in the comic, I guess everyone just flies up to the top of the tower. But in the show, do we actually know who can fly, like outside of Homelander? Like Andy can't fly, right? Because she hasn't done it yet. This is just based off season 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I don't think any. I think it's only I think they make a point of saying how special it is that Homelander can fly.
Yeah. It's kind of funny to just kind of imagine like like you get these superheroes that are like super powerful, and then there's like Annie, like Queen Maeve just rolls up in a taxi and is like, "Hey, can you take me to this battlefield real quick? Gotta go do something."
and she's probably drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I don't know. I think the 3rd season will be good. I'm pretty hyped for that. Hopefully, they get rolling on season 4, so the same thing doesn't happen again. Hopefully Community comes back. That'll be fun.
I hope it does. Like I try my best to like just kind of spark it alive a little bit, just because I'm like they're not doing anything. I
feel like in a sense you're a lot of what helped keep it, active. At least up until the trailer came out, because at least some of the stuff you're posting, like it wasn't like major spoiler stuff. It was just minor kind of whatever. And
yeah, like not to toot my own horn, but yeah, I think you're right.
And it kind of kept people active, and in one way or another, either people were entertained by it or people were arguing about whether or not you should post it. And either way, that's people talking about the boys, I guess, right? So
exactly. Do you know what my thing is as well? I'm like, where do you think I'm getting this stuff from? And I never asked her. That's the thing. I never asked for them. I always, as soon as I got it, or even sometimes not as soon as, but when Amazon asked, I'd always send them the receipts.
Yeah.
So to say, and I'd be like, hey, this is this. Sometimes I didn't give them a heads up and be like, just so you know, I'm posting this, and then I posted straight after and click send. Which is what I did for the Jensen Ackles Laurie Holden photo.
Oh yeah.
I was like, yeah, heads up, this is getting posted, and then it just already posted it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, do you know what? There's nothing deceitful going on. Well, I mean, not from my end.
Yeah.
Is it grey? I wouldn't say it. I'm completely in the right. It is definitely grey. But the thing is, I'm getting sent it. I've not signed anything with Amazon. I never have. Don't think I ever will. For many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
legally, I'm not really doing anything wrong. Ethically, a little grey. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a weird, like, morally gray area, because obviously you kind of get into the topic of like really what is considered like a spoiler and what isn't. That's like your first thing that you have to kind of think about, because some things like I guess we can kind of go ahead and get into it now, since we're been going for a little
Spoiler
bit.
Alert.
Yeah. We're gonna start talking about some of the things she's posted. So if you don't want to hear any season 3 spoiler stuff, thank you for listening.
Even though it'll be vague.
Even though it'll be super vague. Yeah, we're gonna talk about some of the stuff she posted now. So, yeah, the like the Soldier Boy like scene count and like the song list. Like the song list is like borderline, I think, like spoilery.
Yeah.
Scene count I wouldn't consider spoilery. But
I know it's like I'm going, this happens in this scene.
Yeah, but it's just weird that like Amazon kind of like let you do it, but at the same time they like took down your account, then they let you make another one, but then like they're still like letting you do it.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
Exactly,
it doesn't make sense.
Just like the marketing.
Yeah, just like the marketing. Why didn't you post spoilers for Diabolical?
I know. I really should. Do you know what? I just want the people to watch Diabolical in its organic, brilliantness that it is.
My last rip on Diabolical, I just want to point out that as their April Fool's joke, they also did post about Easter eggs on Diabolical, and that was like their April Fool's thing. So, and that was like literally the same content that they post during the week. So their April Fool's joke is the thing that they're trying to post about on a serious tone. And I think for the record, I should say, I'm not saying that Diabolical is awful. My point is that it is a cute little like miniature like side spin-off project. You can sit down, you can watch for an hour. You'll probably enjoy it. It's a good way to waste an hour of your time. You know, it's cute, it's fun, whatever. But to advertise it like it's a serious, like it's a big thing that's like important that like you should watch is like it's like way over marketed for what it is. And that's why I hate it, because they won't shut up about it. Like if they would have said, like if they would have came out on March 5th and said, hey, in 2 days we're releasing an animated spinoff, enjoy, and then they talked about it for a week and then stopped, I would have probably been like, hey, you know, this isn't bad, you know, kudos to them. You know, there's a December, January, February, March, April. It's like, shut up. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I was surprised at how short the episodes were. I thought they'd be like half an hour, given how much they'd marketed it. I thought, oh, half an hour an episode, that wouldn't be. I was like, oh, it's 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, like, but yeah, scene list.
Anyway,
that's what we were saying before we got on to Diabolical again.
Yeah, so scene list for Soldier Boy. So you said he's not in it at all in the first episode, right?
No, absolutely not. No. So yeah, episode 1 not in it. Episode 2. 1 scene. Episode 3 is in it twice. Same with episode 4. Episode 5 is in it 6 scenes. Episode 6 is in 9. 7 is in it for 10, and 8 in for 12. 42 in total. I don't know what's been cut or if they've added any. I just really want to make that clear. That's just based on what I read.
Yeah, so you've got it counted at 42 scenes, and I think it should be kind of noted as well that that's just going off of like visually what you see. That doesn't really indicate how long any of the scenes are. So he could be in 42 scenes, but they could be each like 3, 4, 5 minutes long, you know, and be like a solid amount of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I said to you just before we started recording, some of them is just photos. Some of them is, I was unsure whether to class it as a scene because it was, spoiler alert, there's an animated sequence, so I was like, I'm not sure if that would class as Jensen being in it, because he technically is, but also isn't, so I could see both, so I was like, I'll put it in anyway, just to kind of beef up the numbers. But yeah, especially when, because I already posted this on the post, so it's fine. But especially when you compare it to Billy, who's got 124, that's quite a difference.
Yeah.
It's like, I think they've hyped him up, which, you know, Jensen will do a great job, and he'll bring in an amazing fan base as well. But I think they'll be disappointed by how little he's in it.
Yeah, that's the thing that kind of worries me a little bit, is like how much they've they talked about Soldier Boy, you know, leading up to, like, that was the first main thing they talked about with season 3, was like the picture of Soldier Boy. And I'm kind of worried that if he has been overhyped, that's going to create like a negative backlash from people who, because, you know, like right now, obviously I've seen comments from people that are like, oh, well, it doesn't matter because like we're just excited to see Jensen. But if season 3 comes out and he's in it for like 20-30 minutes of screen time, like if he gets like the Queen Maeve treatment on screen time, people are going to be livid.
I can actually tell you, don't know how many Queen Maeves in it.
Queen Maeve in?
Let me just load up my document. Don't be
This is exclusive stuff.
You're here for the gossip. Let's see. That's on the 7 tab. Oh God. Poor Maeve. 23 scenes.
Oh no. So he's not getting the Queen Maeve.
That's actually quite a lot for her.
Oh my goodness.
That's quite a lot for her. Yeah, that's a lot for Maeve.
Yeah. Oh man, that's bad.
Do you want me to break it down the episodes like I did Soldier Boy, or just...
If you want, yeah.
Yeah. So for the first episode, she's in 4 scenes. Episode 2 and 3, she's absent.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry, Maeve. Episode 4 in 4 scenes. Episode 5, 2. She's not in episode 6. Episode 6, as we all know, is Herogasm.
Right.
Episode 7, she has 1 scene. And episode 8, she has 12.
12?
Yep.
Okay.
12.
So episode 8 is just her, and episode 8 is just Queen Maeve and Soldier Boy. They're just getting their scenes in. At the very end.
Sorry. Oh, Well, I mean, a crew member did post it, so that's not on me. Yeah, they have a scene in the end.
Yeah, so maybe it's just 12 different scenes with them. That's just
Well, I mean, he has 12 scenes for episode 8 too, so deal with that what you will. I actually can't remember what happens in these scenes, so
yeah,
it's been a while since I've looked.
I think that'll be interesting to see. Yeah, 12 scenes for her in the 8th episode. She was in it a lot. It was kind of the same way with season 2, where I think she was more spread out in season 2, but she showed up a decent bit.
Yeah,
in the last episode.
I mean, you've seen from the deleted scenes in season 1, she gets the most deleted scene.
Yeah.
Poor Maeve. But there's some scenes that I've seen for season 3 that I've actually seen visually. Like, I've seen the clip, where I was surprised that they kept certain scenes in with Maeve and some of the other characters as well. Not together, but like just like as separate characters. And so I was really surprised because I was like, oh, that's going to get cut. And then it didn't. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that is kind of a shame that, because I was kind of thinking that maybe she would be in it a little bit more in season 3, especially because like from the trailer you see her with a sword, so it's like, okay, they're giving her like an extra like thing like for the plot, like maybe she'll become more of a figure, but it doesn't really seem like it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Poor Maeve.
Poor Maeve. But just for comparison, like, because you said Billy Butcher has got like 120 something, right?
124.
Yeah, so that's I think
it's a bit of a difference.
Yeah, he's probably in it more this season than Queen Maeve has been the entire show.
Yeah, definitely. I think we talked about the last time I was on the pod, where I said season 1 was a lot more focused on the boys and season 2 was more focused on the soups. Season 3, I think, has gone back and is focusing more on the boys, from what I gather.
Really? See, that's interesting too, because
this is just off my memory.
Because they're all split up. Well, assumingly so when the season starts, they're not going to be together because they all like do their separate thing. Like, it'd be kind of weird if like the first scene comes in on episode 1 and they're all like in a bunker somewhere because they all left. Like, they all did their own thing.
They're all just gone out for pizza. Like, oh, hey, guys.
Yeah, because like Frenchie and Kimiko have gone out. What I would like to see, I think, to open season 3, what I think would be like really like cool, and like some of the scenes would be cute, some of them would just be kind of cool, is like, because you ended the season like with like all the boys going separate. Like, you got Eminem with his family, and you got like Huey, Annie was like back in the 7th, but then you got her and Huey kind of like kissing at the end, and then Frenchie and Kimiko going off. Like, everyone's on their own thing. But it'd be kind of cool if you did like a quick, like maybe like 5 or 10 minute like montage thing for like each like section of characters, kind of like show what they're doing and maybe give like just a quick like tease of like what their life would be like if there wasn't like Vought or like the 7 or like any of like this like major conflict. Like, you open up the scene. I saw someone wrote a comment that was like, oh, like, it'd be so cute if there was a scene where like Kimiko and Frenchie were like baking, like, like that'd be cool. Like, have a scene with them baking. I don't know what you'd have Huey and Annie doing. Maybe bowling. Who knows? Another bowling scene. Gotta make it happen. Then.
Or is it White Sands, the beach where you said you wanted them to go?
Pink Sands. No, you gotta save that. That's gotta be the finale of the show. It can't not be the finale if they don't end up in Pink Sands. That'd be so cute. Right? Yeah.
You didn't look at the song list one that I posted, did you?
No, because I didn't want to get, because in case there was something there for like Huey and Annie, or like Annie, like I didn't want to see it. So I was like, I'll let that be I'll let that be a pleasant surprise when it happens. If it happens.
There's a musical episode and they have a duet. I'm joking, that's completely me being sarcastic.
A duet with like, yeah, Annie has a duet with Supersonic. It'd be like, all right, jumping out my window now.
You're going to love him. Shut up, you're going to love him. I swear you are.
That would just be... It's going to be so funny when that happens, too, because I literally hated that guy for over a year. It's been such a long time. Since season 2 ended, I hated him. But,
you were like, no.
So...
No, I think you'll like it. I do think you'll really like this season. I really do. And, I've said a million times before, I never cared for Starlight. And then I read this season and I was like, she's my favourite. She's definitely my favourite. I also think it's you having some influence on me as well.
Yeah, but probably a little bit of influence there. But that is really good to hear, though. Like, I'm excited to see what she does because I've been getting kind of the idea that she's gonna be like really good. Um, just the marketing seems to kind of talk about her somewhat, like the official Prime Video pages, like they post her
Yeah.
a decent amount. And plus, I just want her to have a good season, so that's why I'm thinking that she will. um, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. So hopefully so.
No, I think it will.
So we've talked about a lot on the pod today, from Diabolical to the marketing to season 3 hype. So thank you, Vought HQ, for joining me on this fun adventure. Make sure to go follow her new Instagram and spread the word. It's Vought_HQ now, right?
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
I make sure to follow Vought Productions.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
No
Follow
problem.
both of us. You can't just follow one. You have to follow both, as these are the rules.
We're codependent now.
Exactly. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.